Well, I'm not sure what happened, brother, but whatever happened, it's out in the interweb world. But
It
we're back.
is. It is
We are.
called. It is called Murphy's Law. Whatever's gonna go wrong will definitely go wrong. I was actually about to say that if we had any technical difficulties, I was gonna apologize in advance. As we all know, everybody and their mother is using the internet with homeschooling and work at home. So these things can potentially happen, but we're back. Okay, all right. So where was I at? Mel
Hey,
Robbins.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with Mel, and I got one more challenge for you.
Yeah. So you've heard of Mel Robbins?
Yep, 5 second rule.
All right, man. So in this TED talk, she talked about the 5 second rule, and so you had already talked to me about that, right? And for our audience who's watching us, so the 5 second rule is essentially you've got 5 seconds to act on an idea. I mean, what would you call it? Anything that triggers you to go ahead and do something or not do something. Your brain has 5 seconds to do it or to hit the brakes. Did I explain
Well,
that correctly?
yes, or even just in the morning when that alarm goes off. And in my house, if my children are listening, the alarm goes off and it goes off and it goes off. So her theory is you hear that alarm and you go up. You can count to five. Five, four, three, two, one, and you're up, and that's it. You don't snooze it. You don't do anything. But to your point, if you're in a meeting, for instance, and you have this idea or you have this suggestion, and you've never or you don't like to say it in the group, you do the same thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and this is what it is. And it could be wrong, it could be great, but the fact of the matter is you took action, and that's her point. So
Yeah.
there is an entire book besides that TED talk. There is an entire book about the 5 second rule. Besides the fact of probably hundreds of interviews she's had.
Yeah, and you know what, man? But there was something else that she did say in that TED talk that really intrigued me, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because it's alarming. Well, alarming is not a good word. It's really eye opening. So she talked about the odds of you being alive in this
One,
world. Do you know before we tell our audience what those odds are? Do
I
you
asked.
know what are the odds of you winning the Powerball lottery? And I had to Google
Oh,
this because I didn't know that answer.
I don't know. I'm gonna guess 25 million and one.
Well, it's 292 million in one. So I kind of knew that. I didn't know the exact number, which is why I wanted to Google it just for comparison reasons. But she said that the odds of you being in this world, like that, there's it's scientifically proven. Like there were scientists that looked into
Yeah,
this, right?
yeah, that's important. It's not her. It's
It's
science.
not her. It's not her. It's science, and we talk about science. We talk about like all the wars, all the catastrophes, anything, all events that's happened in this world, stuff like that. But it is 1 in 400 trillion
Hmm.
the odds of you and me being here alive today.
That's right.
That's
The
crazy.
odds, yep. The odds of that conception happening for anyone that's alive is what that is. So if you listen to that TED talk, that's what she's talking about. When you feel like you have nothing to offer, or whatever you're feeling, uh, you are one in that percentage, which is much greater than the lottery of being alive today. Yep.
Yep. I thought it was incredible and it was awesome. I didn't know that, and I didn't know there was a study done for that. Because we always look at ourselves from the inside out, right? Like we look at the amount of people in this world and how we're just one more human walking in this planet. But she kind of put a perspective from the outside in,
Yep.
right? And the odds of me here being here today are one, or anybody listening to us, in 400 trillion. That's
So
big.
that's like 10,000 more chances of winning the lottery.
That's right.
So with that, I have another bobblehead challenge for you.
Mm-hmm.
My good friend Phil Sellers gave me a bunch of bobbleheads. Let's see if you can guess who this is.
That is a it's a Ranger. Is that
2004 EL
it?
Manager of the Year. So Ranger
Uh,
Manager.
I
Uh, I'll give
who
you a
is
hint.
it? Uh
His
huh.
first name rhymes with a type of shotgun round or type of ammo. The
Oh
great
man,
Buck Showalter.
Buck Showalter. I love it, man. I love it. I see you still have to get me one of those because I know you have plenty of them. Um, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, man. So as we were saying, very very excited to be here today. We'll get started. I want to tell everybody our podcast. We have an excellent guest today, but before we introduce her, our podcast. We've been receiving a lot of positive feedback, and we have, my brother and I, we've been feeling very positive about it as well as to how it impacts, our idea of how you translate problems into opportunities, no matter how severe they are or how light they are. It's just incredible how much it impacts your mindset on the day to day. I can tell you that for at least the last month, I haven't been waking up with the same train of thought to where we've got all these issues happening around us. I mean, I won't even go into them, but I can mention a few, starting with our pandemic, right? Which it's been happening now for almost 8 months or 7 or 8 months. But then we go into everything that our politics, our next president, and then just everything happening around us, and it's incredible how when you talk so much about it, you switch your mind to think about, okay, how can I bring opportunity to this, and instead of just leaving it as a problem. So our podcast is about that, and we bring guests in here. Every Wednesday, every week, so they can help us and enlighten us through their journey, however small or however big it is. We just want them to share. I think everybody's gonna be really really motivated with our guest today, just because she's got an incredible story. So brother, can you can you take us over?
I will, and we are Problems and Opportunity, and we are really, really excited to welcome tonight to our podcast Antonina, and I hope I get your last name right. Vorobyova. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
Is that correct?
almost correct.
Almost correct. Thank you. Say it one time for us.
Vorobyova.
Vorobyova. Okay.
Hey, that was almost perfect, brother. Don't worry.
Um, we are going to be talking to her tonight about her journey from Ukraine to Juarez, and there's a lot of connection between that with us because most of our family comes from there, and that's how we connected today. So, first of all, Antonina, how are you doing tonight?
Great. It feels so great to be alive. I was listening you guys and so it feels so good to be alive.
Even though we
How
we
are you?
signed off or we had technical difficulties, but yes, it is absolutely great to be alive.
Everything happens for the reason. I believe
That's
that
right.
everything happens for the reason. We don't know yet why we had the difficulties, but yeah, it should be.
Well, all I know, Antonina, is that each of us, the chance of being here today is 1 in 400 trillion. And so that in itself motivates me. Antonina,
Yeah.
we're gonna ask you to tell us a little bit more about yourself so that our audience gets to know you. But before we do that, I know a little fun fact about you. I know that you speak 4 different languages. So you speak English, Spanish, Russian, and
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian. So I'm gonna ask you for a big favor. Tell us a little bit something about you in Ukrainian. Let our audience hear you.
Oh, that's a great challenge. um, Мене звуть Антоніна Воробйова. Я приїхала з України. Живу на даний момент в Хуаресі, Мексико. Я закохана в цю країну. Це неймовірна країна, неймовірних красот. Кожна країна різна. Я не хочу сказати, що це найкраща країна, but I'm just trying to talk.
Hey, brother, can you translate that over for us, please?
Maybe about 2 years.
That is awesome. So can you tell us what you just said, Antonina?
Well, my name is Antonina Vorobyova. I came from Ukraine. I'm currently living in Mexico, Ciudad Juarez. I like Mexico. I love Mexico very much, and I just fall in love with Mexico. It's a beautiful country, and there are endless places to explore, to see beautiful people, incredible culture, and something different. It's great experience. It's great experience to be here and talk to you guys also.
We are beautiful people.
Yes, beautiful
Um,
people.
You know, it's so amazing for a lot of us, and hopefully a lot of people will capture that, because where you are now, it's ordinary for us. It's common that that's where our grandparents are from, and maybe one generation before that, and then before that, just down the road in Chihuahua. But then when we look in the map where you came from, that then becomes extraordinary. How how you ended up in Ciudad Juarez, because we go through this entire life wondering, and maybe we don't notice the people around us. But a common friend, Carlos Flores, I hope he's watching, is who introduced us, and he said, you really need to talk to her, because it is an extraordinary story. So we want to kind of go back to your roots in Ukraine, and your education, and how exactly it happened that you ended up in Juarez.
It, it's all started on desire to expand myself, and actually I'm having this desire every time to expand myself. And to also, I was looking for the different international professional experience in a different country, and also I wanted to learn country, to learn people, culture, food, to know different things, to grow professional and personal. That's the main reason. So that's how I came to Mexico. That's incredible opportunities.
Antonina, you were born and raised in Ukraine, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and that's also where you did. I believe you have a bachelor's degree in. You said finance.
Yes, finance. I have.
Okay,
Finance.
what school did you do in Ukraine? Tell us a little bit about that.
Do you want to know the name of school?
Yeah, so it is in the United States, it's common what we call the program, what we call exchange students, and there's even at the high school level, we see a lot of our students take the opportunity to go to countries like China, Mexico, China, Russia, just different countries. So the school where you went, yeah, what's the name, and did you have an opportunity to be with any students from any other countries?
So let's answer to your first question. What school? I was born in a small town. It's a normal, regular school I went to. So after that, I went to the technical school, and I got a degree of the program. So I'm programming in the different languages. I was programming in different languages as a IT. So then I graduated technical school, and I started study in university. My family. it was in Kiev, in the capital of Ukraine. So then I graduated university, and I started to look for something different, what will excite in my life. So the name of university, I guess you wanted to know the name of university.
Yes, please.
Krok. Krok University, located in Kiev. I think is the great university, which gave me a lot of knowledges, and
Yeah.
I'm proud to be a student. I was a
Of
student
course.
of that university.
Of
I'm
course.
sorry, I'm nervous
Yeah.
a little bit, you guys.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, my sister, my brother, and I only went to UTEP a year, but we're tied into that university all our lives because I went a year. They both graduated from there, so I understand what you're saying. It's completely and totally exciting and very, very, it's great. So when you get into the international experience, how does Mexico come up, or how does Juarez specifically come up? Because that's what's fascinating to me, and maybe to another, a lot of people. Was it on a list, or did someone say, you know what, these people have an opportunity? How did that come up?
I wasn't looking for the specific country or specific place to have my opportunity to have international experience. I was looking for opportunity. So in that time, I was working in logistic company, and I wanted to know something different in international level. So I was looking for opportunities, not for the country. And that opportunities came from Mexico. I never been in Mexico in that time, and only three things I knew about Mexico is Cancun, sombrero, and tequila. That's it.
So tequila, the last one is important in our culture for sure.
It's
You know,
very
uh,
important.
absolutely, absolutely. And you know what I'm proud of in your process in your life is that in that whole situation, somehow little Juarez, and I say little Juarez, it's not little, but
It's not little.
somehow Juarez in the whole realm of this world ended up in your, let's call it application, or, in front of you. You know what I mean? That's super important or sensational to me because somehow of every other place in the world, this is how this happened, and that's amazing because that means that the folks in Juarez are
Yes.
whoever it is, they're doing their job.
Yes, I agree. I mean, if you're looking for some specific, if you're looking for opportunities, so it's just, for example, me, yes, I was looking for opportunities. I got the small contract, like 6 months international experience, practice for the 6 months. And then I got the place where I found a better job where I can expand myself, what I was looking for at the first place. So here it is. I mean, if there is a will, there is a way. Don't you
That is
think so?
absolutely right. That is the subject of our time today, and I am proud not only of you but of the city to find someone like you to come and travel literally across the world to do to improve her professional ability and everything else. I think that's pretty amazing.
So, Antonina, my brother and I were at the beginning of the podcast. We were talking about how you got 5 seconds, so your brain has like 5 seconds to make a decision. on whether it's, you're gonna get up every morning right when your alarm rings, or you're in a room and you want to ask a question and you have 5 seconds to ask, or you're probably not gonna ask it. So I need to ask you, is that kind of how you felt when you make this decision to go outside your country and go to another country? Like you felt you did that like in the spur of the moment, or did it actually take you time to like really comprehend?
You know what? Everything what you didn't expect that it will just came up very quick to me, and everything is coming. You just feel fear. You feel fear. Like, okay, I want it, but right now I'm afraid to do that. Oh my gosh, it's just to quit my job and to move to another country. I never been in America. I need to make all these documents. It was a fear. First of all, I just afraid of doing it, of start to doing it. When you just step in, there is no way back. You just need to roll in.
Right. We,
The first one,
exactly.
yes, the
Some
first
people
one
call
was
it
the
falling
fear.
forward. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Called falling forward. Like you're in the middle of the fear, and should I do this or not? But if you keep falling forward, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and also I want to mention that we are having comfortable zone. Everybody has comfortable zone, and I was in my comfortable zone with my family. I had a job, I had a friend, I did what I want. I saw them almost every day, and it was a comfortable zone. And then they offered me like, okay, you can go, you want it, you can go to Mexico and to have this different experience. So what I told them, I told like, okay, do I need to speak Spanish? They told me, no, you don't need to speak Spanish. Your English is okay. So English is enough. I said, okay, because I don't speak Spanish at all. Well, it's okay. So let's try. So I was in my comfortable zone, and then I needed to push out myself out of that zone and start to this adventure, to this journey. Um, that was incredible. Right now I understand, just like it was incredible, and it was so brave to make that step.
Oh my gosh, it was incredibly brave. Um, I have a quick question for you because so I'm two languages, English, Spanish, but I have a theory, and you'll tell me because you're double the languages. So I think I always tell people when you speak more than one language, you speak one and you think in another. Maybe I think in English and I can speak in both, but if I'm speaking in Spanish, I'm having to translate because I'm speaking in English. So I'm just curious if you think that's the way it is because you're in four languages. So do you think people think in one language and then have to translate it they're speaking?
Yes, I think so. Well, it's not necessary. It depends maybe the way how we learn and we learn languages. But for me, it, I would say I when I talk to my family, I can think in Russian or Ukrainian. When I talk to my coworkers, I think Spanish or English. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, how would say in Spanish? How would say in English? Sometimes I just forgot English and trying to talk in Spanish. I mean, it's quite difficult to keep all these languages in one head, and especially when you need to say something and to let people hearing you, it's quite difficult to just get the right words and
Yes.
explain something. But I don't think some people can speak even 7 languages or 8, and they don't have difficulties. I think it depends on their brain we have.
It does. It does, and you're exactly right because you kind of fall into your comfort zone. So when I go back to El Paso and visit family, I kind of it takes me about half a day, but I fall back into thinking in Spanish, and then I'm translating into English, and then when I come back here, it's backwards, and and
Yes.
so I can imagine with so many,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I've had people tell me, well, you're like that. No, it's not that. It's just how you're used to your brain to processing languages. So it's amazing. It's amazing to me, especially that you have that ability.
So I think things just became a little more amazing with this story because so if I understood you correctly, Antonina, you came to Juarez without knowing how to speak Spanish. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely correct.
And how did you do it to learn Spanish?
I have no idea.
Oh my goodness!
Novelas, novelas.
Wow.
That was super difficult, and I didn't understand anything what people said. They just, not many people speak in English here, and they just try to explain to me something. I felt lack of communication. I couldn't talk to my family because of the difference of time. It's huge difference. When I'm awake, they're just sleep at the same time. It was, I remember that time, and it was like, I didn't choose that. I didn't want that. I want to communicate with people. I want to talk to people. And then I started to understand that I need Spanish. I need to learn Spanish. So my friends, some of the friends recommended me some app to use, and I started to use it. It didn't work. I didn't understand. I couldn't remember any words. I just say hola and gracias to everybody. And yeah, it was,
And tequila, don't forget. And
and
tequila.
tequila, and tequila. It was difficult time. I remember that time was very difficult, but I turned it out to opportunities, and now I can speak Spanish. Well, not perfect one. I just say not perfect Spanish, but I'm improving every day. And thanks to people who are very passionate with my Spanish, with all this process, I'm so grateful. Um,
Of course, we can talk about this all night, but so let's talk about you. So you come to Juarez, Mexico. Have you traveled? Hopefully, you've traveled into more than just Juarez. What part of Mexico have you seen? I know you told us that you really love the country. Tell us where you've been. What your experiences have been.
um, I'm so grateful that I had opportunities. I'm having opportunities to travel around Mexico and to learn, to explore different parts of this country. This is amazing country, and I would say every part of it is just different from each other. So I've been in Mexico City. I've been in the places around. The best one was in Volcano, in Toluca. There is a
Luca.
place volcano. You can go inside the crater. You just can walk up to on the top and just go down to the crater. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we
Absolutely.
do.
Yes.
And it's just to be inside of the crater of volcano. That's
Mhm.
incredible. It's just I was
Fascinating.
not understanding what's going on, how I just went to crater and was sitting there on the rock, which was there before I was born, and it's going to be there even if I die. It's going to be there. Nobody's
Right.
going to move that rock.
Right.
That's incredible. I've been also in Chiapas. They're a place with so many waterfalls, lakes, and amazing, amazing nature. Just amazing nature. I've been in what is the name in Chihuahua when you take in the train to the canyon? Um,
In Chihuahua.
Chihuahua, yes. Creole.
Cree. Is
Creole,
it?
yes.
Yeah.
I've been in Creole. I've been in Monterrey, Guanajuato, Guadalajara, Puerto Vallarta.
Oh my gosh, you've been all over.
Yes. I think some more places. I just don't remember the name.
Yeah.
Just don't remember the name.
I'm embarrassed because now you've been to more places that I've been to, and I lived in I've I lived in El Paso all my life. I am officially embarrassed in this podcast.
Yeah. It's just traveling makes me. I'm inspired when I'm traveling. You are just exploring not the city, the place around you. You're just getting to know yourself, what you really want, what you really are going to get, and what you really moving forward to. And every time you're just a different person. Every time I think I'm a different person, definitely a different person. You just change yourself every time, and the new desire, new dreams coming. You want to do something different. You want to be better every day. You want to say, you want to feel better every day, and have fun and enjoy life and enjoy every single moment in this life.
Yep.
That's what I came.
That's we went to Cancun, which is the peninsula, the Yucatan Peninsula,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. That we went last year. My wife, my children, the whole family, and so talking about your experience, we went under. They're called. I'm not going to remember the name, but so they're basically caves under the water. So you kind of dive in the water, but you're not under the water. You kind of
Uh-huh.
float in these caves, cenotes,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
that water. In fact, to get in there in that area, you first have to take a shower, sort of a shower. You're not uh, just rinse off basically, and then because the water's so pure, and then you get in there and then you go in these caves, these cenotes, and the water is so amazing, and it's the cool, the temperature, and I'm, I was 46 last year, so that's how long it took me to go see that part of Mexico. So you have officially seen more than I have because it took us that long to get there, but it was really amazing to go through those things.
I'm missing Cancun. I'm missing that. I'm missing Cancun. I need to go there. It's in my list. It's in my list. I'm going to
Antonina, you mentioned you went to Mexico City. Tell us about your experience. How did you feel about the city, about the people, and about the just the culture?
Mexico City was amazing experience. Everybody told me, be careful. It's so dangerous to go there. And I was thinking like, how can it be dangerous to go to the capital? I am from capital. I mean, there is nothing dangerous, and everybody was telling me that's so dangerous. Please come back alive. And I went there, and I don't know, but I was feeling that's incredible place where all the culture and history and people just in the same place. You see
Yeah.
the nice buildings, the modern buildings, and then the churches from ages
Hmm.
ago,
Yep.
and it has history. And then I started to learn the history that Spanish people came to Mexico, and then they started to get the territory. That's now I understand how people look different. And I didn't understand before when they saying, oh, he is tall or she is tall, then he is from Mexico City probably, or maybe he's from another place because he looks
Hmm.
different. All this DNA you got people got in the blood, and it's just amazing how you have all this story, all this history from ages ago, about generation. I mean, the generation.
Yeah. The Mayans and
Science, yes,
I understand what you're saying. All this history that we don't really necessarily understand. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and I will 100% agree with you, Antonia, that Mexico, I wasn't born in Mexico, but I married, my wife is from Mexico, and then I'm a son from, my mom is from Mexico, and I've always believed it's the greatest country in the world. Of course, I say
yes,
that while I'm here, but every country has its beauties and its culture, and every
yes.
individual is proud of, but
And
man, it's tough to beat.
And I just want to add that people so warm, you talk to them and they're so nice. They have like very warm energy. You just talking to them and you feel that they're so friendly and they're so polite and they respecting you, respecting everything what you have, respecting your traditionals. Not even Mexico City, the whole country, even here in Juarez. I really like people. Maybe that's because of the people. I'm still here because it's so nice when people. So open to you and so warm, and they're just hugging you and kissing you, this traditional Mexican traditional to kiss each other
Yes.
and
You
hug.
know,
Yes.
you
Um,
know,
and
that's so true.
that's the main part what makes country great. And I think people is just amazing, whoever they are.
It's so true because when like you're talking about, so when you get to know Mexico really well, border towns are different than the what they call the interior, but it's really not if you really want it. If the people really want it to be, but we went. So I'll tell you one of my memories of Mexico City. Uh, when Jorge and I were really young, we took a trip there, and we climbed the pyramids, came down. There's some vendors there, and they were selling mostly silver. And my dad bought this silver ring, and I saw him bought it, and that was I'm 47, so that has to be a good 35 years ago, maybe more. And so I still remember that memory from that moment. Not only that, but just the feeling, like you say, the people are so inviting and warm, and we lose that sometimes with different issues worldwide. But I totally agree with that. With the because that was the only Mexico City trip I've ever taken a long time ago. But that memory sticks with me, and then what happened after that. We went to, I don't know if you heard of the Chapultepec zoo or
Yes,
park,
yes, of
etc.
course.
We went to all of that, and it was just wonderful.
And
Yes,
Antonina,
for sure.
you talked a little bit about your feedback, or getting warned, quote unquote, the warning about, oh, be careful, the dangers, and it's a dangerous city, and things like that. So that brings up a good point. So it's my understanding that your initial commitment was to be in Juarez for 6 months, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay. Now, how long have you been in Juarez for now?
That's the tricky question. 4 years already.
Yes.
For
So
years.
so the point I'm going to bring up is, I don't know if you heard this. I'm sure you have, because everybody in Juarez has heard this, and here in El Paso too. But Juarez is considered one of the most dangerous cities, in Mexico. And I go to
Uh-huh.
Juarez. I go to Juarez. I mean, I don't go every day, but I want to say I commit once, maybe twice a month. And I've never seen the dangers. I mean, I've seen the norm. But what's your feedback on that? What's been your experience?
They never told me it's a dangerous city. I never knew that, but I think you need to be very careful, not just in Paris. You need to be very careful in any city. You are going to another city that is also dangerous. I mean, not to go to the very dark places or to buy something. I mean, you need to be very careful. Not to. You need to be on the another side. Oh, if you
You need
understand what I
to,
mean.
yeah, you pretty much need to stay out of trouble, right? Is what you're
Yes, you
saying,
need to, correct. Yes, you need to stay out of trouble and to not do any bad things. Like my mom trusted me that I'm not going to do anything else. So I need to be very safe here.
Yeah.
It's better for me and my family.
Yeah. We've been blessed that because we still have family there, and up to a few years ago, we still have our grandparents there and some other people. So well, my brother and my sister more than me had traveled there. So it was the same thing, just be careful. A couple of questions. So now that you're in Juarez, how many times do you come into El Paso? And, what do you think of El Paso? If you have come over.
Yes, I'm going to El Paso. I do shopping over there. And there is not many things to see all around the city. It's just a lot of shops but it's interesting to cross bridge, to cross
My wife would
customs
agree
bridge.
with you. It's just, yeah, she would agree with you. I understand. Paso is our birth city, and if you read of the history, El Paso del Norte is kind of was a pass through, not just for the country, but for Mexico. So,
Yeah.
but I'm glad. So you really got two experiences, Mexico, and then right across the street you got El Paso, right?
Yes. And I wouldn't say that El Paso is very American US city. I would say it's just like some very close to Mexico. And Juarez is not really Mexico. I saw the real Mexico. Mexico
Right.
is just so different. And I wouldn't expect something different from the city in the desert. It's just a desert, and here is the city. You cannot have here gardens all around the city
right?
and beautiful places, especially in the winter. And especially when the storm is coming, all the wind, strong wind, just all the dust around.
Right.
And
That's
I,
experience.
yeah, and you said it perfectly. I mean, we're an extension of each other. So El Paso, we're an extension of Juarez. I really believe this, right?
Yes.
And then Juarez is an extension of El Paso, and we love each other a lot. So I think our next question, Antonina, is the $1 million question. Everybody's dying to know. What is your favorite Mexican plate? I mean, what do you love eating in Juarez?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking. I tried almost all Mexican dishes, and it's so delicious. It's quite greasy, but it's so delicious. Mexican food just amazing. I like it very much, quesadillas, and what is the name? The chilaquiles. I like it, chilaquiles very much.
Chilaquiles, absolutely.
Chilaquiles, yes, thank you. It was before I just switched to the vegan diet. So right now I'm not eating Mexican food, but I know the taste of the tacos is just amazing, and nachos is just amazing food. You guys here, having here, well, nachos is just the best one. But thank God I found the vegan nachos. It's just delicious. It's just delicious. You need to try. You need to try.
Do you feel the food was really a little too? I mean, yeah, I agree that it's a bit greasy, but that's what makes it delicious. But
Yeah.
what about the spiciness? How did you feel about the spiciness?
Oh, they told me try this chili. It's not spicy.
Yeah. You know,
That was fun. It
I'm
was
gonna tell you a funny story.
spicy.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story about our dad, and it is really a funny story. I'm gonna tell you two funny stories because he's gonna be driving to my house tonight. Chilaquiles, you know what chilaquiles are, right?
Mhm.
Tortilla, you know.
Chili
So,
and queso, right?
okay, let me ask you a quick question. What is the difference between that and enchiladas?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what's the difference. If you can tell me.
Not a darn thing. However, our father and he'll well, he's not probably gonna watch this, but he will tell you that chilaquiles are the bomb and enchiladas are not. And it's the same with eggs. So if you when he's cooking, the eggs scrambled
Mhm.
versus our meat, same thing. And it is a constant fight. It is the same thing, but he will not have it. Um, I have a question, Antonina, for you, real quick. Juarez, well, let's just say any border town is known for violence. Maybe not as much now, but certainly in the last few years. Did that ever cross your mind? Did it ever um, worry you when you? I mean, maybe you didn't even know. So just tell us if you knew and or if it ever crossed your mind, because that's a question from one of our people.
Um, can you give me more details about your patient?
Well, border towns are known for drug drug trafficking, violence, and what comes with that. Uh, and so even for us, even with my girls, there was times where we didn't even cross the border because of that. So we wonder if that's something you even knew, or if that even worried you. Border towns are known because it is a border town. Two countries, stuff crossing back and forth. Is that even something that worried you?
Um, I am out of this. I don't know a lot of details about how it's going, and I just don't know. I do not want to know all this stuff. I'm not interested in this, and I know there is something going on here. You just need to be out of here and do not have any problems, and just keep living your life. And this is not a good stuff, even if you ever try. It's not good for health or something like that. And I think I know it's the border crossing, all these people going around. I don't even know. I don't want to know what they are doing, how they doing, or whatever reason. And it's just a choice of the people. I believe it's just people choosing something what they want to fast money, the easy money, and but they don't think in it for future, for family.
Yeah.
I heard some stories, but I'm not just into it, and I don't think you're having the right person to discuss this question with.
Yeah, no, and I'm sorry, I don't want to. I mean, make you uncomfortable, but it's just even us, like even with my girls, when we hear these stories, like for instance, my girls, for a couple of years, we didn't let them go across the border. But you're right. If you keep the whole thing, um, if you stay away from it, for me, um, there never should be a problem. There never should be a problem.
Yes, yes. And it's all about
Yeah,
choice,
and I think
especially for the kids, for the teenagers, when they're, I mean, I have my set of mind. I know exactly what I want, and it's not my thing. But for the kids and for the teenagers, when they just growing up and they don't know, oh, friend says that it's good or something, they just keep trying. For teenagers it's so difficult actually, but they need to be very confident on themselves and very confident to with themselves and say no even to the best friends. It's your choice, it's your position, it's your life. Nobody can decide for you, and nobody can pushing you to do something what you do not want. Even for teenagers, I think it's a great opportunity for them to stand and say that no, I'm not going there, or no, I'm not going to do this. This is not my stuff. This is not what I see myself in 10 years, for example. I know what I want, and even if it's best friends, I know how teenagers, I've been there.
Right. Oh yeah,
So,
we've all been
so
there.
yeah, so
Absolutely.
they need to be very confident and they need to build themselves from that point. So here is you guys going, here is me going here. So that's okay. If you are going that way, that's your choice. It's all about choice.
Absolutely.
and I really love your thought process, Antonina, because I think it didn't hold you back. Whether you knew the dangers or you didn't, or you decided just to block it off, it wasn't something that was going to hold you back. And I think that's a critical and great message for our podcast today. A lot of people can't fathom. I know I can't because I've never done it, but obviously it's possible. You've proven that this is something you can do, where you can just pick up your suitcase and go, right? And I'm not talking about like my brother. He went across Texas. You almost went across the world. So I love the message about whether there's dangers, or you've heard stories or in the news or people talk about it, or they tell you, don't go because of X reason. You still did it, and I think that is a super super important message for tonight. Antonina, if you could give our viewers today one or two message, one message from your heart, and tell them, hey, when there's a, talking about our show with problems and opportunities, what would you want to leave behind? What kind of message would you want to leave behind for our viewers?
Do not be afraid. That's the main message. I know we all feel this fear inside when something new is coming, and it looks like maybe it's better to stay in our comfortable zone. It's better, it's safe, nobody will touch you there, but you need to move out every single day out of your comfortable zone. Um, Before life will push you out from that zone, it will be more painful then, but you need to prepare yourself. You keep taking step every day, and it's much more fun to be out of comfortable zone. um, just do not be afraid. Everything is new, everything is more excited than it was yesterday. Try yourself, fail, don't be afraid to fail as many times as possible. So anyway, you one day you will win. Just be yourself and find out what you want, who you are, love yourself. That's very important thing. And just know what you want, and be with people who you love to be with, and you enjoy in every moment, every single day, and be grateful every single day. Every morning you wake up and just say three grateful things to yourself. What are you grateful for today? And it will keep you up with a good mood, with the positive things, with the great vibes all around the day, and all the things will come.
Yes.
And
That's
just
excellent.
just
Yeah.
spread the love. Yes.
I think that's a very good message, Antonina. Thank you so much for it. And I know that I mean we can probably spend days talking about all the problems you faced. Again, I don't think it's an easy thing to do what you did, but you did it, and 4 years later, you're still here. You know, thank you, and thank you so much for choosing Juarez. You know, or I don't know, you know, if you were just kind of placed on there, but we talked about that. And I think it's great to have you to be part of our city, our country, and I know you know the difficulties that you probably has faced. Also, thank you so much for tonight. I know you know you were very nervous to be with us, and you've been with. 4 minutes now, so it was a great show. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about another culture, another country, and but most importantly, it was a great message. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you so much for you guys. Thank you for invitation.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
great evening.
Yes, I love the the waking up and thankful for three different things because I try to do that if I could have a journal for that. So absolutely, thank you for that. Thank you for your message. Thank you for your time, most of it, and your experience because one of the things that in our group we have a lot of different girls that are looking for role models, and I know you will be one of them because to travel across the world. So thank you. And thank you
Oh,
for
sorry to interrupt, but our producer is asking for you to say goodbye in your 4 different languages for
there you
us.
go.
In 4 different languages. Okay. До побачення, до свидания, bye-bye и adios.
There we go. Thank you so much, Antonina.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the union.